What up? This is Rama Screen, everybody, and it's time for another discussion video. I'll be talking about the new movie that's coming out, but I'm not going to be talking about it alone because here accompanying me today is my good friend Dominic. How are you, Dominic?
Hello, thank you for having me, Rama Screen. Appreciate it.
Excellent, excellent. Dominic, talk a bit about, share a bit about yourself to the viewers at home. Talk about what you do for a living and all that good stuff.
Sure. Well, I'll start with the fun stuff. I wish I could make a living out of it. We all do, but I love media. I just love the movies. I love following YouTubers and I love all this sort of stuff. I used to work in the entertainment industry for a little while. I just love it. It's something I love. Could you make a go of it in a career? It's kind of tough. It's a very select few that could. So I'm a PhD student in public administration at a local school here in Florida. So going to probably go into the public sector when I'm done in about a year and a half. But, my free time between writing papers, I love watching Sonic movie and all sorts of things. It's kind of tickles me,
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about Sonic Hedgehog 2 in a bit. For the viewers at home, Dominic and I have been exchanged for quite some time on YouTube. Dominic's an avid supporter of a Rama Screen YouTube channel, so I thank you for that, Dominic. And he has a very interesting story about and Dominic. So you already finished your exams, right? Recently, that's what you told me.
Exams.
How was that? How difficult were those?
It was just in case anyone knows, the comprehensive exams for a PhD program, and it was the most intense thing I've ever had to do in my life. Honestly, like the only real I just love, like, for 15 minutes I still watched him and a few others, just like at night for like 10 minutes. I'm like, it's just something to defuse from all this craziness of the day. Rama Screen and a few others, and I'm select about the YouTube. It's only a small handful. That's the way I do it.
And you mentioned also to me that you are planning to start your own YouTube channel. Is in the plan, or is it happening?
I actually have a YouTube channel that has maybe over 100 videos, but it's like little comedy videos, it only has like 40, 50 people, mostly family and stuff. I did it just for fun. Nothing.
After that.
Just for fun.
Send me the link to that. I'll subscribe.
We'll do.
So comedy is also your passion? I didn't know that.
I used to do stand-up comedy. I didn't get paid for it, but just the whole thing, entertainment, media. It's something about it I just always liked. I just always connected with,
I hear you.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's a good segue because one of my favorite comedians is in this movie, Sonic Hedgehog, Jim Carrey. He's an all-time great. And I just saw it earlier today. I didn't get to attend the screening because I had WonderCon last week. So
there you go.
Exactly, and that took priority. But my first reaction after the screening was just it was just okay. I guess people loved it more than I did. What do you think?
I've never thought that I would think so much about Sonic the Hedgehog 2, but I've been thinking about it for the past like 5 days. About this review. To tell you the truth, I like the first one a little better. I like the first one better. I felt like there was more emotional beats in the first one. It was, more serviceable at the time, more streamlined story, basically one character focused on. There were plenty of good things about this one, but it was kind of long. It was all over the place. It felt a little bit like it was made for kids in certain ways.
Yes.
But those are all the negative. They might as well have held up a Happy Meal when they danced at the. But there were a lot of. I'm just giving you the not amazing things right now, but there are a lot of positives also.
Yeah, I got you. You mentioned a good point. I think that was one of my problems with it. Is that, and that's the same problem with. Sorry, it's a car revving. But that's the problem with every sequel. They add too many characters. Like the Robotnik, or he played a backseat to Knuckles, and so all these, and of course Tails is in it. So it's just like sometimes that happens with every sequel where there's too many characters added in, and it gets the hero gets diluted because there's just too many people involved.
Yeah, for sure.
But as far as whether I felt fun, I think I agree with you that I felt more fun watching the first one. But there are some sequences that I like the avalanche, the snowboard thing. That was fun.
Yeah.
And then went through the Hawaii thing. And some of the human characters, the additional human characters, were also kind of boring. I didn't like the the Fed, the guy that fake marriage, that one girl. I don't know his name.
Yeah.
He's in the SWAT series.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, what is this guy doing here? He's like a macho dude. Do an action film somewhere else.
Yeah.
He's just so misplaced, bro. You know what I'm saying? What's he doing in a family friendly movie like this? So that's my beef with it.
Critics seem kind of split down. I mean, I've never seen it. Most people, it seems like most people liked it, but they seem to think it was either a little better or a little worse. Nobody seems to be, it doesn't seem like it, it doesn't seem like they came up with like the perfect move, but are we really the demographic? I guess not. I mean, I don't know, maybe family friendly, but it's a lot to juggle. You want to make it for kids, you want to make it for, people our age, adults. You want to make it's not that easy to pull off the whole thing. It's a tough little nut to crack if you think about it.
Not only that, I said to you many thousand times, I'm not a gamer. When I review Halo, I was like, I'm not a gamer. I keep telling people. So my connection to Sonic is not as probably strong as other people would have. I wasn't one of those people like, oh no, because the first Sonic movie, everybody was outraged about the design, how he didn't look
care that much about that.
Yeah, I didn't put much thought into that. I was like, all right, whatever, Sonic movie. I guess another game-based movie. Yeah. But some people are more passionate about than I do, so I guess they have more opinions about strong opinions about this new film. I give you this though, as a fan of Jim Carrey, he still got it, man. That guy has still got it. I mean, like his facial expressions, his inflections, how the way he changes his voice tones. That guy is still like a living, walking cartoon. You know what I'm saying? That guy, all these years, he still got it, and I love that about him. But some of the jokes in this new movie, don't always land. Like you said, like we don't know who they're catering to. Like that joke about when Sonic says The Rock versus Vin Diesel. You remember that joke he mentioned? I was like, I think if you're not really in the know about that feud between The Rock versus Vin Diesel, I don't think that's gonna be funny to you. You know what I'm saying?
You'd have to know it, yeah.
So some of the jokes were like, oh, you're reaching there. Like, who are you trying to? Which audience are you trying to make laugh here? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As a comedian, you probably could get.
You mentioned Jim Carrey. I was thinking about him. He's 60 years old to be doing this at that 60 years young, obviously, to be doing this. And then, one thing that I like, he did it with who would have thought that Eggman, like Carrey wasn't really that hot. Okay, he's always been doing well, but he wasn't like that hot until this came out. I would have thought that this would have kind of revitalized his career for the, ups and downs, but this kind of Eggman, Dr. Robotnik.
Yes, sorry, I said Egghead. That's how much I know about Sonic. Eggman, that's right. So thank you for that. And you're right, because I think prior to this franchise, we haven't heard much about Jim Carrey, or we had not heard since Dumb and Dumber 2 in 2014. So for a while now, for near a decade now, we're like, where has he been? And before that, it was Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, number 23. You know what I'm saying? And then before that is Thriller. So so this, who knew that this is the one that kind of like jump started his career again.
I couldn't believe it.
But now he's talking about retiring. I was like, what the heck?
Yeah.
You just came back, and he's like, oh, I've done everything. You read the trades, right? He said, oh, I've done everything. I think I should just go off into the sunset now. It's like,
retire.
Come on, man. You just came back for us, the fans. Stay a while. Stick around a little longer. So let me ask you this then, Dominic. As a, I guess you could say, what are you, a passionate stand-up comic yourself, right? So who is your hero in comedy? Who is your favorite comic?
I don't know. I mean, I used to think Kevin James, Chris Rock. Well, Chris Rock. I mean, he's everyone's talking about him, but I guess Chris Rock.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why? If I ask anything about Kevin James and Chris Rock that kind of resonates with you?
Well, Chris, the people that don't. Oh, and of course, Robin Williams. How could you forget? But the people, they don't curse. Chris Rock does. But Kevin James, they keep it clean. Robin Williams was that way too. But Chris Rock isn't as clean, but he's insightful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Insightful.
I think that what I love about Chris Rock, because I love that I think 2 decades ago, Bigger and Blacker. I remember that special. Oh, so good. he was just, I think he was funny in that segment or that special because he was mainly just speaking the truth. He wasn't really like, trying to be funny. He was just pointing out the truth about people, the truth about sex, the truth about relationship, the truth about race. He was just pointing it out. He was just calling it out. That's what's funny about it. Yeah, I love Chris Rock too.
The truth. There's funny in the truth. Yeah, Chris Rock. There's funny in the truth.
That's right. I'm not a naturally funny guy. I have to try to be funny, so I'm not naturally funny like you. So, but I have much respect for comedians, bro.
I've seen you on the channel though. Like it's kind of funny to me because sometimes you don't try, and I'm like, that was really funny what he said, or he said it in a funny way, but he made an expression. I don't know.
Yeah, it took me an hour to write those down though. So I gotta ask also, let's take a little break from Sonic the Hedgehog too and get to know you a bit better again. I know we discussed also Grace Randolph and all those guys, and don't worry, it's a no holds barred conversation here. I know you said you met Grace Randolph, and so share with the fans, share with the viewers, what are your thoughts about some of these big YouTubers, some of these big influencers in the media, and are we able to trust them at their word, at their at face value? What do you think?
No. Like to tell you, like I guess I'm like you said, no holds barred. That's okay with me. Like the reason, like I take a look at like I'm pretty into I'm pretty into the YouTube. Like when I don't remember how you came up on the feed or how I found you. It was like you have 7,000 plus people. And then I say to, I do not intense research or anything, but you just connect a couple of dots. I hope that sometimes you get, my hope for you is that you become like the biggest YouTuber and get invited to all the things. But the first thing I see is if this person has you have a very commendable amount of number, but if they don't have in the very, very high number, then probably not being invited to these studio things. Mm-hmm. The second you get invited to these studio things, there's incentive. Can you, you're not going to say, oh, I was invited to go see Sonic the Hedgehog 2 and then say, oh, it's just okay. It's like in the middle or whatever. They gave me a big gift basket that's worth probably $1,000. I want to be invited to the next one that's, whatever, Paramount or whatever it's from, I think Paramount. I want to keep getting fed. So, the honest truth is I don't go by this 100%, but I almost cut people off on YouTube when I see that they reach a certain number. Not exactly, but I see to myself, is this person being, and one thing about you is like you do interviews with the stars and then I'd see you review their film the next day. Sometimes you say it's great. And I know that in your heart, you believe it's great, but I've seen you say, this is just okay. Oh, the actors were, maybe you did think the actors are good, but you're like, well, this was just okay. 2.5 out of 5, the script wasn't good, the cinematography wasn't good. And then I say to myself, well, he's telling the truth, how he really feels. Yeah, okay, but maybe they'll respect him. He'll still be talking to the stars, which is wonderful. But the second you see that they get invited to all these things, I'm not saying this is rock solid, 100% written in blood, but you got to start questioning it. Mm-hmm. You got to start questioning it. And the bigger they are, kind of the more they'll change their opinion and stuff, because this is how they're making a living. Exactly. Most of them. I know this is like a second job for you, like 2 jobs, and that's wonderful. But some of these people are making bank off. Some of these people are making a real living off of this. And I have met some of I don't think I've ever done this before, but I have met some of these YouTubers. And here's another thing too, and I'll say it, and I said it to you, and I'll say it to whoever wants to watch this. If you watch this YouTube, you'll see that I watch it. I don't care what you look like. I don't care what your orientation is. I don't care what your backgrounds are cut. If you give intelligent opinions that don't necessarily align with mine, I'll watch you, or I'll put you in my top, 2, 3, or 4. There's so many instances where I see, and it's the truth. I hope people don't come out after me as a sexist or something, but I see pretty girls who give vapid opinions, and you have 7,000, they have 70,000. Just because, look, I can't quantify this, but guys look at them and they just want to watch them. What do they think? They're gonna get married to them?
No, I agree, bro. I agree. Unfortunately, we still live in a world where sex sells, or sexy or looking sexy sells. And so, that's a game I will never be able to beat. So, but I totally agree with you that I think that we have to be careful about some opinions out there. Some people, like you said, do make a living out of this. So, They meaning that they won't give you their honest opinion because they rely on their lifeline, which is the that money that comes from whatever it is, the studio or whoever is paying them. So it's one of those things where we just have to kind of use our best judgment, use our best discernment. Because I do watch other YouTubers as well. You mentioned one of my favorites, Movies and Munchies. I think that's his name.
That guy, I can't remember the man's name. But
Yeah, Movies and Munchies, right?
Yeah, with the glasses and the silver,
Yes.
and then he cut his hair. Yeah,
he's a cool guy too. I watch him too.
He's a cool guy. I don't think he has an okay amount of subscribers. Not
That's right.
But he tells it and he keeps it short, like 6 or 7 minutes, and he's really into it. And I kind of, I said I kind of like maybe if I could have a little like he's probably a little bit of an older gentleman, or if I could have some sort of diversification, I prefer that a little bit. I guess I'm not looking to plug other people, but since you asked directly, I guess it's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Rama Screen, Movies and Munchies, Movie Emporium. There's a little bit of a heavy set guy, bald guy. He has like maybe
okay.
He's pretty good. He's pretty into it. And Adam Does Movies. Those are like the four. Those are the four.
Okay, I need to check those out. Adam Does Movies and Movie Emporium. I'm sorry. Yes.
And all these people have a similar story to you. I mean, I couldn't believe. I mean, I've been watching you for a while, but just the other day I clicked on how many like video. You could go in and see how many videos you have. You have a lot of videos. Yeah. 4,000
so far.
Like I couldn't believe it. I'm like, I knew he's been doing. I don't know how long you were doing it for, but I'm like, holy damn! I mean, he has a lot of videos. He's really into this.
And I don't want to make this video all about me, but I just want to also chime in that it's tough, out there. That the fact that I made 4,000 videos and still the subscribers that number that I am right now is just. And then some people are like only 100 videos total, but they have 10,000 or 20,000. So it's a game that it's an algorithm game that's sometimes you can master it, sometimes you can't. You can crack it, sometimes you can't. I'm in the camp that still can't crack it. So it's just life, bro. It's just life. But I just gotta keep swimming, as Dory says. Definitely.
Yeah, I just wish you could get more because I see your reviews are insightful. Like you don't just like see the movie and throw something together. I could tell who really puts thought into it and who doesn't. It's like I'll just throw some garbage together or whatever. I could tell just by watching you and others. I'm not going to say this if I didn't mean it. You think about the movie. You come home and you reflect on it. Maybe even put thought around it. Even though the review is only 6 or 7 minutes, it's not that easy to come up with that. And even the skipping with the camera. Look, I'm far from an editor, but the skipping with the camera, you got to do all this, that, and the other thing. It's not that easy, even to the smallest thing, the simplest thing. How long did it take you to get good at that?
I'm not sure, man. I've been doing this for a decade now. So I guess it'll take another decade for me to finally get there.
And he talks to all the pretty girls. Every time I see a video, he's talking to another pretty girl, the most beautiful actresses want to talk to you.
Oh, Karen Gillan. Oh. Who's your favorite again?
Sarah Yarkin. I'm still waiting for my date.
Right, so Isabel Fuhrman, right?
Yeah.
You like that one? Okay.
I'm still waiting to get a date.
She's hot, bro. She's hot. Now, but you told me that you wanted to add some more topics or some more stuff in addition to comedy to your YouTube channel. What would you be discussing on your channel?
I started doing recently a little YouTube. I mean, I did a review of your favorite movie, Deep Water. And I did a little review of Deep Water. I talked about Will Smith from like 2 weeks ago or whatever when that happened. So the comedy, like if you do comedy, no one's ever like if I typed in right now Sonic the Hedgehog, well not now, but when you do the Sonic the Hedgehog 2, you'd come up. Unfortunately, I don't say towards the bottom, but like maybe like 20 down. I mean, you would see you. If you typed in, you have to do a movie review, but it's such an oversaturated market. It's unbelievable.
Yes.
If you typed in Sonic 2, it's unbelievable. And you have to make a career out of it. Hopefully some people watch this and that's great. That's fine. But if you really want to make a career, you would have had to have gone to see Sonic the Hedgehog on like Wednesday, ran home, set up the camera, thought about whatever, did it, uploaded it, and you'd still be late to the party somehow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's the story of our lives, brother. But I gotta cut into that though, because this is one of my plans. I don't know if it's gonna happen the next few days or the next few weeks. Because we can't make money sort of or income out of YouTube only or solely. So I'm thinking about affiliate or sponsorship or product placement. I noticed some YouTubers do that. Like they would wear a shirt, of that says a brand or a logo that has a logo of that product, whatever they're promoting. And so that's what I'm thinking. I know it sounds like I'm selling out, but it sounds like that's the selling out is the direction I could go in if I want to be able to, focus more on this and not my day job. So that is part of the plan for 2022. Just want to let you and the viewers in on that.
And that's fine. I mean, here's the thing: if you were if you were like an independent millionaire, you could just do this for fun, and you wouldn't have to worry about wearing a brand or something like that or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I could respect. I mean, everyone's okay with that. I think the only thing that's obnoxious. I'll be honest with you. The only thing that's that's one thing, and that's fine. That's cool. The only thing that I find obnoxious about that. Let's say you're doing a 7-minute video at the beginning, at the your video, you always say subscribe to Rama Screen, give the thumbs up at the very beginning. I do it anyway. I mean, hopefully they'll do it, and that's great. Do it at the beginning. Don't do look, you could do as you wish, but I'm just giving you, if you do a 6-minute video, it's a little. I kind of like it. Kind of puts sour taste in my mouth. If in the middle of the video for 3 minutes out of a 7-minute video, they start talking about, and this is this, and it just interrupts the entire thing. If at the beginning of the video, they say some people flat out say, and I've watched them, I'm looking to make a living off this, or they say it in like a nice way, like you just said. And this is why I'm doing this. And I respect that. I give them the thumbs up, I give them the thumbs up every time pretty much, but whatever. We're not rich people. Most of the people doing this, just regular, everyday Joes.
Mm-hmm.
So if it was me, I'd say at the very beginning, like maybe not every video, but the first minute, minute and a half, to tell you the truth, I have YouTube Premium. The second, I kind of fast forward through that, but yeah.
No judgment. Yeah. Go ahead.
But they get the thumbs up anyway, and people respect that. But it is kind of nonsense when they plump it in the middle of the video, and it's 7 minutes long, and all of a sudden you're watching a commercial for Puma or Nike or something like that.
Yeah, I will definitely plan to make it as painless as possible. That's my honest to God, that's my plan. So
have they approached you about that, or did you approach them, or that's just the way it works, or I don't know?
They have emailed me, but I gotta screen them because I think Google has some rules about which products that are allowed and are not allowed. They can't. I think one of the examples is it can be a software kind of product, like a spyware or something like that. That's one of the stuff. So I gotta double check again what's allowed and what's not allowed. So it's gonna be a process, most definitely. I'm thinking it's not gonna be it's not gonna take up like 2 minutes out of the 7-minute video. It'll be like me just wearing a shirt and it says something on it, something that you could see. So I don't really have to say anything at all about the product. Just me holding the shirt or wearing the shirt, something like that.
I guess quick question for you, since are you able to pick up a Coke and drink? Makes me think of the Wayne's World, but I mean, would you get in trouble for drinking whatever that is? I mean, I have a water in front of me. Do I have to cover the thing? I mean,
well, this is from convenience store. Inside it is Pepsi, so I guess nobody can really know what brand it is unless I tell you. But no, I don't think you get in trouble for that. And it's very generic, drink. Everybody drinks it, so it's not really quote unquote sponsorship. You know what I'm saying? It's something that you buy off a gas station.
What about on the YouTube? What about I'm not really I have 50 people, but what about collaborating with somebody? What about, I don't know if you ever did this. Maybe you did collaborating with someone else that's cool and nice. It has 70,000 or 80,000 or something like that, or 60,000.
Yeah, definitely is in the books. I've collaborated many times before in the past, but mostly with my fellow YouTubers who are in the same range of subscribers as me. So I never go to Jeremy Johnson and knock on his door, hey, can I collab with you? I've never done that before. It's mostly YouTubers that are either 7,000 or 8,000. They're the same level as me. So who knows? Maybe I'll knock on the door of Jeremy Johnson or somebody bigger or like, you know, John Campea, whatever. The thing is why I haven't done that yet offer myself up to collab with the big boys. It's because I know how they think. They're probably thinking like, who are you? You know, I'm a big, you know, I got 30,000, 50,000. Why should I give you clout? You know?
Yeah,
So
no, it's tough.
yeah, that's probably, you know, that's probably what they're gonna be thinking, you know, because they're thinking I'm getting clout off of them, you know, even though that's not my intention. Just want to have a good movie talk, but they're probably thinking, oh, and this guy's just trying to take advantage of my clout, you know, something like that. That's probably what they're thinking. So I haven't knocked on their door yet, but
I don't know how they get to that. I know Jeremy Johns and Stuckman have been doing it for 10 years, or God, I was watching him 12 years ago when I was my. But some of these other people, Austin Blake is pretty good. The younger guy is pretty cool. He can be good. But I don't know how they get so many people, man. Over 100 people. I mean, that interesting what you have to say. And I watch it too, you know.
And the thing is, you know, because English is my second language, you know, as you can see right now, I'm always struggling trying to come up with the words or the grammar. And so that's why I do videos the way I do videos, which is with jump cuts, and I wrote them down, and I, you know, with a prompter or whatnot, because otherwise I'd be like, you know, it'll be like a 20-minute video of me like, you know, and I wouldn't have a good train of thoughts if I were just, you know, doing it. Some people have that talent. I don't. So I think a lot of people are more attracted to that, you know, just impromptu without, you know, kind of thoughts. So I think, you know, that's one of the reasons I think why these YouTubers get big really fast compared to me or mine. Yeah.
When I see, it's not, if I see that the video, I mean, I'm going to watch yours pretty much always, but when I see the videos over like 10 minutes, I mean, if it's like super long, I'm like, I don't know. I mean, so below 10 minutes is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. When it's that long.
Have you seen or have you heard of video essays? People do video essays now instead of video.
I've listened to those. Yeah.
Right, like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, like a long, and there's like a footage of trailers or whatnot, video essay about Eternals, and they rack up like 400,000 of views and so what. I guess people love video essays. Huh?
Yeah, that must take forever to do. I mean, that must be a real project.
But why do you think video essays attract so many people instead of video reviews?
I've listened to video essays, but like I'm not gonna like if I watch your thing, I'm gonna actively watch it. There's no way I could spend an hour just listening to a video. Like if I'm doing chores or something like that, or eating or on YouTube. But I mean, you can't spend that long. I guess people like it. I guess there's a guy who did 2-hour video essay on Batman versus Superman. I think his name was Captain Logan or something. Long analysis, every little detail of the movie, and I've listened to them. But I don't have 2 hours to burn all the time listening to something like that.
And what's the view number on that one, on that video?
Some of them are high.
Right?
They're high and they take this seriously. I'm like, how could you watch this movie that intensely? They like it more than I like it.
So I guess that's where the money is too now. And I think everybody's you know, turning from reviews to video essays now. Maybe that's something I need to do as well. So, but you know, that's for somebody who has all the time in the world. which you and I don't. To produce 2-hour video or even 30-minute video essays, I don't know, man. It's tough, bro.
One thing about you is like even this like the videos, like one, I guess I could say this. I like the YouTubers when they talk about themselves, like you learn about them, not just a talking head. Like that video you well, you didn't really learn about you, but you did something when you sang a song at some around Christmas time. Yes. That was a good. I think it was the 51st Date song or something, like real quick. And other videos, like you talk about Will Smith with these other, you know, we did Will Smith last week with these other folks.
Yeah, live streaming.
We can learn about you, you know.
I like live streaming. I love live streaming.
I could tell you like the live stream.
Especially when I could show you guys what's on my screen. You know, that's always fun. You know, just me in the top left box corner. You know, like you don't have to see my face on big screen. So I like live streaming, definitely. Video essays, that's another topic. You know, I have to think about. But
there was one recently where you're like, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. You woke up at the crack of dawn. I don't remember. I don't remember what it was, but you're like, it's 5 o'clock, and I don't think I was up at that time. Oh no, that I saw it after. Yeah. But you woke. Why did you wake up so early? I don't remember. I'm like, why is he's up so early?
You know what? I think that was an Oscar announcement, bro. Oscar nominations announcement.
Oh, Oscar nomination.
Yeah. I know it's by that time it's already 8 o'clock where you are, right?
Oh, that's why. Okay. Yeah.
Because you're East Coast. So, but yeah, I love live streaming and
You
whatnot.
love it.
Let's get back to I don't how much time do we have left? Oh, we still got a lot of time. Okay, let me talk about a bit more about Sonic the Hedgehog 2 here. What do you think about James Marsden's career? Marsden's career, because you know we remember him as Cyclops, and then he became that prince in Enchanted, and now he's like a second, third lead in a game video based franchise. I know sometimes I feel like James Marsden could have been a bigger movie star by now, but that's not what happened. What do you think about James Marsden?
He's made, I love him. Something about him is just like, he can't offend you. Like, he's made a career out of being like an everyman. Like, he plays a perfect, he plays a perfect everyday Joe. I mean, in this movie, I think he was in Hop. I'm like, he is the perfect guy to be Sonic's guardian or father, whatever you want to say. He has made a career about, he plays himself, it feels like.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, they chose the perfect guy to just play the like he didn't say anything, he just smiles and kind of seems happy all the time. I mean, I wish I had his career. I mean,
you're right. I think James Marsden, doesn't think of his career right now. It's like, oh man, why don't I have my own franchise by now? Why am I not John Wick? I don't think it doesn't really bother him.
It doesn't. He's like the second fiddle. I mean, I guess he was in Superman Returns also. It's like, yeah, it was like a second fiddle guy. He's always, like the second fiddle. Yeah, and that's okay.
That's okay. Like you said, he does play the good guys now. And, something like Sonic movies, it doesn't require an acting range, an acting stretch on his part, just being himself. So so he just shows up and gets the paycheck. Yeah, I like the guy, definitely.
But he really quick. He was a little in those X-Men movies. He was a little shortchanged because Cyclops is actually an awesome character. Wolverine is Wolverine, and that's great. But Cyclops is pretty good too, and he got a little shorted in those movies.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up, because I hate that it's called X-Men movies, but the fact is they're all about Wolverine. All of those movies are about Wolverine. Yeah, almost all of them were about him. So it's like, everybody else kind of like takes a backseat to Wolverine. So I agree. I totally agree. Do you think there's going to be Sonic 3?
It's already greenlit.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
They already and with the money, this one did well. This one did very well this weekend. I didn't look up the exact. I don't remember the exact figure, and I don't want to give bad information, but this one did very well. I don't know if Jim Carrey, he says he quits acting. Maybe they'll back the money truck. He's already rich enough, but maybe they'll back the money truck up and they'll do it. Although, to tell you the truth, I mean, no disrespect, Jim Carrey he was very good in these two movies, but I think maybe they should try a different direction in the third one, or maybe not have him, or just just make, just have Shadow as the bad guy or something like that. Yeah.
So you play the game? I never play Sonic the game. You play?
I played the games.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So who are Sonic's rogues gallery, if you will?
That's pretty much. I mean, it's not a huge gallery, but Eggman is the main guy. Then Shadow, Knuckles was kind of like a frenemy, but then he's pretty much a good guy. So the other, and Metal Sonic, the other main villain was Shadow. That's why maybe at the very end you saw people cheer, or at the very end where they had the clip. So that's like the evil Sonic sort of thing, Shadow the Hedgehog. So that would be pretty cool. But I think maybe Jim Carrey shouldn't do the third one. Like, how many times can you do the same tricks? I don't want to seem like, I love Jim Carrey, but it's like, how many, he really took this little character as far as pretty far. If he wants to do it again, more power to him. But I would maybe like to see, sometimes you have to get creative when something isn't there. So it might stretch their creativity a little bit if he, simply chose not to do Sonic 3.
Did you like Idris Elba's voicing Knuckles?
Knuckles was I didn't really, to tell you the truth, I felt sad that I kind of wanted Sonic to kick his ass a couple of times. Like, I love Sonic the most, but I at first I'm like, this is kind of a weird choice. To have Idris Elba was a little bit of a strange choice, but it totally stuck the landing. Knuckles was kind of a standout in the movie. He loved it too. Elba's awesome. Elba's such a cool guy, and he's like a kind of a big star, and to do something like that, and you could tell that he loved it. Yeah. Like, I saw interviews with him, and you could tell that this guy loved doing this.
It was that scene cracked me up. It's like dot 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 dot. He was reading the text message dot. But you know, I gotta be honest with you. Throughout watching the movie, hearing his voicing Knuckles, I keep remembering the because Idris Elba voiced that tiger in that Jon Favreau's Jungle Book movie in
I
2016.
didn't see it. I never
You did?
caught it.
Okay, so
Yeah.
all I remember is it was a tiger, the
Oh,
Shere Khan or whatever his name. So, but you know, his voice, he's done voice characters before, in many movies, including Jungle Book. So that's what I remember. Like, oh, instead of Knuckles, I keep remembering the tiger. But yeah, but I think Knuckles as the villain was really good. I mean, he was always angry about Sonic making jokes all the time. So he's like the antithesis about, very serious, very angry,
serious.
very laser focused on his goal. So I guess that's the kind of villain he is. How is Shadow, personality wise, or like you
It's
said?
not. It's not that dissimilar. It's not that dissimilar. He's very serious. It's not that. That's kind of the thing. They can't do the same trick for the third. I mean, I know you don't follow as much as I used to. They can't do the same trick again.
It sounds like
oh,
Knuckles.
it's like, oh, Shadow teams up with Eggman, then he turns good at the end because he was like a good character, kind of like. So they're gonna do the same exact thing again. They kind of can't do that.
Exactly. So
One thing, since we're talking Sonic, I liked the emotional parts of like. I'm a grown man. I almost cried during the first movie a couple of times, and here also. But they didn't lean into the emotional parts. They dipped their toe in it and pulled back. When Knuckles and Sonic were on the little island after, yeah, it got a little emotional. Then immediately they pulled back to kind of like the kids, dancing around and stuff. At the very end, again, it's okay, we do spoilers. At the very end, he called James Morrison dad, and I mean, it was a little emotional, but that kind of leaned into. But the relationship between Sonic and Tails in the games is a lot more in detail. They just kind of like scratch the surface
yeah.
because it was a movie for kids.
Yes, you're right. You're right. I totally agree. I think they try to, because remember, one of the scenes, Tails got hurt, after the snowboarding thing, and then so like Sonic's like, I'm not gonna let anybody get hurt anymore. I'm gonna do this myself. I'm not feeling anything out of that. I know that's their way of trying to connect with you emotionally. I'm not getting anything out of it. Like Tails getting hurt. Not as much as the emotional beats, like you said in the first movie, where I kind of felt something there. And so I don't know, maybe that's a missed opportunity, or maybe they didn't, like you said, they didn't lean too much into it when they should have. So maybe, yeah, you're right. Good point.
Yeah.
Good point. Anything else you want to bring up about Sonic the Hedgehog 2 that I may have overlooked?
Let me take a look here. I kind of like Agent Stone. He doesn't. I kind of like Stone.
Why? How?
I just like him. I mean, he just just the agent, like his loyal employee, his loyal lackey.
The job.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm gonna cut you. Go ahead.
I think that there was a little small subtext here. The LGBTQ plus community. I felt like Agent Stone. He's looking at there was and somebody asked Jim Carrey about this, like in passing, no big deal. I think there was a little subtext about that, a small subtext that he had a crush on Robotnik. Yeah. But I just like Stone, like the guy who played Stone seemed like he really got into it. I mean, I kind of like Stone, and there were a couple of times I'm looking at little notes and stuff. There were a couple of times that I almost teared up, and I did, a Sonic guy when the three of them got together. I kind of cheered. I mean, I'm like, this is pretty cool. But if you like Sonic, you would like this movie. I mean, listen, I wouldn't have died if I waited till it came to TV and watched it, to tell you the honest truth. But if you have a little kid that likes Sonic and you're a guy who like an adult who like it, you'll be okay. Now,
let me ask you straight up, because video game based movies has a bad rep. A lot of video game based movies generally suck. Do you think that Sonic the Hedgehog movies pretty much have broken that curse?
They're solid movies. I thought the first one was good. I thought that this one was pretty good. I mean, they're solid movies. As a grown man, I could watch the first one and this one and say, this is solid. This is worth 2 hours of my time. I mean, watching these two things are worth my time. They haven't made, I don't remember that. I know you did the Halo show. Well, that's not really a movie, but you did the Halo show and you said, I don't remember what you said, because
I liked it, yeah.
But that didn't really go along with the game. But Yeah, there hasn't been a good. I kind of like the Mario Brothers movie. It's like awesomely banned, but it was like terrible. But
John Leguizamo? Yes, yes.
John Leguizamo, yeah, of course, it was awesomely banned. Like I kind of watching it, I was like a joke almost. But maybe if they could do it well, if they could do it right, and this pretty much did it right.
Yeah.
Definitely the first one, and this one I'll say did. Maybe it could be okay. I'm glad that the studio made. I'm glad that everyone seemed to do well with this. They made money with this because you want them to do well. You want them to put out a good product.
Mhm.
You know,
I did like the intro though, you know, before because you see the Paramount, you know, a logo, and then you see the Sega games, you know, that's like, oh, because I think I'm not a gamer, but I did play Mortal Kombat, you know, the old ones in the 90s, like the old Sega. So I played that, and of course Super Contra, which is not Sega, but still, you know, that was the game that I played. And so looking at that intro, I was like, oh my God, nostalgia, like crazy.
it made me think that they're going to start making more and maybe make it like a universe or something like that. Was the first thing I thought.
Is that the plan? Have you heard?
No, but that's what it felt like. Like Sonic could be their flagship movie, and then they'll make like makes me think of like Batman, and they're making the Batman with the villains, or Spider-Man, the Spider-Man with the villains, and then Batman, the villain, is going to come to HBO Max, Penguin, and all that. That's the first thing. Oh, by the way, they're going to have a series with Knuckles on Paramount Plus.
Whoa! Yeah. Idris Elba coming back to voice?
Yeah. Yes.
That's so cool. I'll be there to watch it.
That's cool.
Here's the thing. I know everybody loves speed. You know, that's Sonic's superpower that everybody loves. But my favorite is actually those rings that can transport you to everywhere.
I had one.
I would love to have one of those rings. You know, I would trade speed or whatever powers for those rings, man. Because the idea of not having to take a plane or take a train, or take a bus anywhere, that sounds so lovely, bro. Just to go to Hawaii, you know, with the ring, kind of like Train's ring.
Yeah.
Is that from the game, the rings?
They didn't use the rings to go anywhere. That's new. They didn't. The rings are in the game, but they didn't use the rings to just magically transport anywhere.
So it's not in the game. Gotcha.
I like that. Yeah.
I love that. I love that aspect about this film. So yeah, overall, it's just okay. It's not terrible, but I still find like you said, the first film way better, in my opinion.
Yeah, a lot of people, you know, I'm glad that I'm not the only one who thinks that. I mean, if I had to give the Rama review, I'll say I'm going to give it a little push and say 3.5 out of 5. I give it the push of the extra 0.5. I guess the first one I give the same. I mean, but you can't. I like the first one better, but maybe kids would like this better. It's a movie for general audiences. I mean, you could do a heck of a lot worse, you know.
I hear you. So before we close out, bro, any final thoughts? Any exciting news that you want to share with us? Any plans or what's awesome?
I just think that more people should tune into Rama Screen.
I appreciate that, bro. I'm always like humbled whenever a fan like yours, man, just loving the channel. I don't know what to say, but just thank you so much for watching, bro. You know,
it's fun. I love it. It's just my hobby.
I wish I had 1 million of you, bro. That would be really cool. Now I know, you know, we always try to leave comments as well, because I know engagement is good for YouTube activity, YouTube algorithm. So I appreciate those as well. I know you always mention, like, you leave comments like, oh, yeah, I don't know these actors. I've never watched this show, but you know, more power to them, and that's cool. That kind of comment is positive too, right?
Yeah. Any big interviews you have coming up?
Oh yeah. Well, we just had the WonderCon thing. Rosa Salazar, you know, was the big one. Everybody loved that. I shared it on social media. It got retweeted like crazy, bro. Rosa
again
has a lot of fans, you know, because Alita Battle Angel, you know that movie. Yeah. So a lot of Alita fans retweeted that one. Upcoming ones, no, but screening wise, I already got invited to Doctor Strange 2. That's in
it's coming up soon. That's gonna be a big one.
Yeah, so looking forward to that. The trailer looks so crazy. It looks like Inception, and just like I think you gotta really take LSD to actually watch this movie. There's so many visual effects, man. I'm afraid that there'll be a lot of strobing lights or whatnot. I might get Caesar watching Doctor Strange too. But that's coming up. And yeah, and I'm looking forward to Lightyear from Pixar. That's also in June. It's gonna be awesome. Interview wise, nothing yet in the books, but I will definitely be posted. Well, but I guarantee you there are gonna be pretty girls in my interviews as always.
Every time. I also like the tweets on not the tweets, but Friday flashback. I'm like, he meets all the coolest guy, Gyllenhaal, I think was last week, and someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was not one of the first that spooked the heck out of me. I couldn't sleep that night. I mean, at that age, at that point, at that time, I literally couldn't sleep that night.
Yeah.
I mean, now it doesn't freak me out. But when I started that time, I could not sleep that entire night. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so freaked out by this.
Was it one of the scariest movies you've ever seen? Was that on the top?
I mean, not really now. I mean, if I watch it now, not really. I can't really. I love horror movies are my favorite by far. I love them. Yeah, again, just when I saw it, it took me by surprise, and it just freaked me out when I saw it. I mean, now, not really.
Yeah, because you already know the twist now. You already know the,
You already know the twist, yeah.
But let me ask you then, what's your top 3 scariest movies?
It's so hard for me to answer. I've seen so many. I mean, that was definitely a good one, but I've seen so many. It was 1408 was I don't know if that was a horror. It was a thriller / horror. 1408 was a good one. John Cusack and Sam L. Jackson. That was a good one. She was in another one actually called the Self. I can't think of I can't think of. She was in another one with Cusack. She does a lot. She did a lot of horror movies actually. She was in one called The Cell that I kind of liked.
The Exorcist? You don't like The Exorcist? That's my favorite.
I can't watch that. That's really scary. That's scary stuff. Stir Rebecca's with Kevin Bacon comes to mind as a pretty good one.
Yes.
That was a little bit underrated because that came out around the same time as The Sixth Sense. So that didn't really get the push at that time, but people have discovered that later. It wasn't like the Cabin Fever that came out maybe 15 years ago. I liked. I saw that when I was in college, but I know a lot about horror movies. The new Michael Myers that came out recently was pretty cool. Halloween, I love them. The Scream movies were pretty good. I know all of them.
I gotta be honest with you, bro, because I'm a horror fan myself. I love the supernatural stuff better than slashers or creature gore. I love Paranormal Activity, The Exorcist, stuff like demons or possession, stuff like that. That's the my cup of tea when it comes to horror. Like yeah, the slashers are okay, more like thrilling to me instead of scary. Getting chased by Freddy Krueger or getting chased by whatever dinosaurs. But ghosts, demons, that's my cup of tea. That scares the shit out of me. What about you?
There was one called The Exorcism of Emily Rose that came out a long time ago. The Exorcism of Emily Rose, it was pretty good. There was another one it was like a Jewish exorcist, came out a little while ago, that was pretty good. There were a lot. I don't like those as much myself, but I'm familiar with them for sure. But that's creepy though. Maybe I don't like it because that seems real. Like, you don't think that Michael Myers is out there. It seems like almost like a joke, but that something could actually possess you seems real, you know?
So you didn't like that Texas Chainsaw Massacre with Sarah Yonkin?
It was okay. I mean, it was entertaining. I mean, it was okay.
I love that ending though, bro. I was like, oh my God, she got pulled out of the car.
It was a pretty good ending. I mean, it was okay. To tell you the truth, that he's like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre guy is like my least favorite of all those guys. That's why I wasn't like doing backflips about it. But I mean, I liked it. I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
Like if you have Netflix, watch if it's free at home,
Yeah.
So many things about that didn't make sense. The social influences went to a town. Where'd they get all this money from? How were they able to own that town? What was their intention? I mean,
how they get the loan from the bank? And it's like, really, they're too young. I mean, they wouldn't get approved. They could own the town.
It was just so outrageous.
Oh my God. I think that's it. Our time is running out, unfortunately, Dominic. But I so love chatting with you, bro. I hope we can do this again. Maybe for Orphan First Kill coming out next month.
Do it again. When a good one comes out that we think is a fit, this one just seemed to fit the bill. And plus, I have a little bit of free time now. I couldn't have done this, but when we do it again, that would be good. Yeah, Orphan First Kill, and I'm counting on you to meet me, my future wife. I'm counting on you.
I will be your Cupid, brother. Well, everybody at home, viewers, follow and subscribe to Dominick's YouTube channel. If you want to share with us, what's your YouTube channel?
I'm not even sure. You know, I'll put it in a link. I'll put it's just a small channel. I'll put in a link. But no, definitely, I appreciate the opportunity to do this. And I wouldn't have, well, thank you for the opportunity, but I wouldn't say that if I didn't mean it. Only 2 or 3 people that I watch on regularly on the YouTube, Rama screen others. You know, watch it, give it a try.
Thank you. Everybody, go listen to Dominick. That's a very good advice. So
Yeah.
subscribe to my YouTube channel right now. And till then, let's rock this.